I have covered before on my channel how majority of the men and women out there have no idea where they stand in terms of looks, and that's because of the smartphone. The selfie camera which most of you use to evaluate your looks is simply not accurate. It ranges from the 12 to 26mm range, which is simply just too wide of an angle distorting your facial features. The human eye view is three-dimensional, flipped, and does not distort to that extent. So today I decided to take two pictures, one distorted and one not, and see how aggressive lens distortion can be when measuring your facial ratios. This video, like many others, will be split into two main parts. The first part, we will see how lens distortion can ruin your facial ratios, and the second part will discuss how to take better pictures. If you want to support the channel and get your face evaluated by me with personalized look max and advice, link will be down in the description. If you want to read more about topics like these, you can check out my blog at nerofacerating.com. Without further ado, let's get this video started. First, we will take a look at frontal profile, stimulating a selfie lens and the most flattering lens for your face, and starting with some major ratios that determines your attractiveness. The mid-face ratio in the distorted photo is around 0.89, which falls close to the major flaw range. As for the other flattering angle, it's around 1 to 0.91, which is average. In the distorted picture, we have an FWHR or facial width to height ratio of 1.67, which is average. And in the flattering photo, you have a facial width to height ratio of 1.81, which falls within the attractive range of 1.8 to 2.2. Let's take a look at the nose in the distorted picture. The nose width to face width ratio is around 1 to 3.5, which is an above average ratio to have. The flattering lens gives us a ratio of 1 to 3.8, which falls within the desirable attractive range. We also notice the nose looks much smaller and attractive here. This also applies to the bizygomatic by bigonial width. It's also slightly improved in the less distorted version. It's around 1 to 1 and the flattering version is around 1.18. Of course, in the 200mm lens, you can see a much more wider bigonial width, which basically means a wider jaw. The chin also looks more proportionate to the face. The chin to philtrum ratio itself is actually better on the distorted photo, around 1 to 2.4, better than the other which stands at around 1 to 2.1. But why does the chin look better here? It's because in the distorted picture, the jaw is not wide enough to support such a strong ratio, harming the overall facial harmony of the lower third. Obviously, other ratios will also be affected, such as the low to full face ratio. In the distorted photo is around 0.66, and in the flattering photo it falls within the desirable range of 0.63. Of course, the eyes and eyebrows, being features of high importance, will be severely affected as well. For the eye spacing ratio, in the distorted picture being 0.49, falling in the wide set range, a big flaw, but in the less distorted photo it falls within the perfect range of 0.45. These are minor details, but also should be mentioned. The upper eyelid exposure is minimal in the 200mm photo with a more compact masculine almond eye shape. For the eyebrows, what's affected the most is the distance here in the distorted photo. You have high set eyebrows. It can be a mild to major flaw depending on the intensity of the flaw. And in the 200mm one, the eyebrows are more closer set, which is more attractive. Now for the side profile, I did not find any comparisons online, but I say according to my experience what I see the most affected by lens distortion. It's the ramus lens and the gonio angle. What happened is that it looks steeper than it does look realistically, hurting the aesthetics of the side profile. Minor ratios also get affected like the nasolabial angle and major ratios like cervicomental angle, but no one seems to care about this one. So the severity of the lens distortion depending on the camera and lens used can take away or gain you anything from half a point to a point and a half. Variations might exist, like we have proved earlier in the ratios we have measured, even though that was a bit of a more extreme scenario, but it was used for educational purposes. The question remains, well, how to look the best for social media and dating apps' sake, or to measure ratios. If you don't have a DSLR camera with a 50mm lens or less, then you can use the mirror and the 2x zoom. By stepping backwards a bit, your face will look more flattering. Use the selfie camera or back camera preferably with the 2x zoom, and again step back a bit to decrease the visible lens distortion. The closer the face is to the camera, the more distorted it will look. But what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. That's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A like and subscribe will be highly appreciated, and like usual, catch you guys in the next one.